Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into a very exciting video. Today we're going to be looking at combining the brand new LEGO Marvel Modular for 2024, the X-Men X Mansion set. This is set number 76294 and released on November the 1st and is our fourth modular in a row for Marvel, which is super exciting. The reason this video was a little bit delayed was because something really cool shipped that I wasn't sure was going to make it into this video, but it arrived just as the set was launching, so I figured I would wait to build it and connect it, because I know there's going to be a ton of people who have no idea this set even exists. But anyways, as you do yearly, you could check out time codes and chapters down below if you want to hop around to the different connection points, combinations, and all that. But let's get started first with combining it with the other three Marvel Modulars.
All right, so here it is, side by side with the other modulars. And I know that people did this last year with the Sanctum, where they just put it side by side. It is actually a corner, and I'll show you that in a second. But I just thought it would be good to show you it this way, just to give you a sense of scale, that it is kind of small in comparison to the other buildings, especially the Sanctum, since that was obviously the next smallest one. It just, height-wise, I don't know, that's kind of disappointing to me. And the reference material does actually have a third floor, so I kind of wish that we could get a third floor. We're going to be doing that in another video. But anyways, this is still really, really cool to see here all together. I think that just, this is a dream come true. It truly is. I can't get over the fact that we have this. We've been waiting for this set since, I don't know, for me at least, 2013 with the LEGO Marvel Superheroes video game. So I'm so excited to actually have this. So here it is. Obviously, I think you got to put the Sanctum here in the corner, like I said, but I've gone in order of starting things off with the very first Marvel Modular that we got, which was the Daily Bugle, and then we got the Sanctum, and then with the promo here that I bought last year that goes alongside of Avengers Tower here, which just towers over everything. It is just massive and huge, and I just love it so, so much. And then over here, we have the X Mansion, which, again, going from one to another, I'm kind of let down by this here. And you can see, by the way, I've upgraded a couple of things here, adding in Beast and sneaking someone in up there at the top. But yeah, I love the set. I think it just could have been a little bigger, and then it would sort of fit in a little bit better, I think, with everything that we have gotten before here with these three. All right, so this time I've put it here in the middle, and I don't know how I feel about this. It just, again, I feel like it's just hitting home the fact that it is tiny in comparison. But I will say something good about this is because it is sort of so small, if you are moving your stuff around, if the chariots are one peg lower down there, that'll also just sort of fill things in there. But you won't have to keep removing it, because every time I would put it next to the Sanctum or the Daily Bugle, I'd always have to remove the chariots and keep moving them up and up and up. But because of the mansion, it's small enough, so that's pretty good. And obviously, you're never going to have anything hitting, which is important. You can see both sides there going right up to the other ones. There's no alleyway on the side like we had here for the Sanctum, or even here for the Bugle, that alleyway, or this one over here. So it is designed a little bit differently there, which is important, especially because, again, we have this huge lawn, which I haven't even talked about. How does that look when it runs up against other buildings? I guess that's okay there in the corner with the different, like the garbage bin there, and then the boxes. And then over here, you've got the sign right next to the pavement there. But I don't know, does that work? Is there a better way to meld concrete and the grass? All right, I thought I'd display it this way. It doesn't look great with the Sanctum facing that way, so I just thought I'd show it to you, but let's pop this on that end. There we go. I think that looks so much better there with that on the side. And again, you get to see the gorgeous front of the Sanctum there. But this also gives a good sense of scale. I know I'm just going to keep bringing that up, unfortunately, for this set. But this is really surreal to me. Just, I think, seeing this next to the Bugle. Only because, like, these are MCU sets. This is, of course, X-Men 97. But it's also sort of comic booky, and the mansion works that way, too. So, again, I go back to 2013 in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and seeing these two next to each other, all these characters from that game there, and then obviously with, like, the Sentinel just appearing in, like, downtown New York. And so to have this happening next to the Bugle which is an awesome level in the game too. And then there's a level from obviously in the mansion. So seeing these two, it really is just crazy how far we come from the Daily Bugle now to the mansion. Also, something I just need to point out, that thanks to the mansion, we now have Iceman completing the Spider-Man and his amazing friends, with Firestar being included in the Bugle way back when. And Iceman was actually almost in that set. The designer, Mark Stafford, was trying really hard to put him in there. All right, so how does it look with putting the Sanctum right next to it? I think it looks really good, especially when you come down here. The Charles Xavier sign, sorry, Gene, just going to move you for a sec. I think that looks really nice next to all the other stonework there from the Sanctum. That's pretty cool. And again, I really am loving having that next to the Bugle. But yeah, putting Avengers Tower back there, I don't think that's too bad, just because, I don't know, it is massive. And eventually, you know, the more Marvel Modulars we're going to get, you're not going to be able to see them all from one side. So that's working, I think. All right, I do want to talk about this because I love the alleyways here, the back alleys with like the broken rubble and everything and the cardboard boxes, but the iconic yellow trash bins here, every single one of them have had one now, and they all have something referenced inside of them, which, I don't know, I really like the look of this here, but I just had an idea. And look at this with 4 alleyways there. That looks so cool. I love that a lot. Unfortunately, because of the mansion's size, it is longer, right? Because of that extra base plate. So it does go past a little bit there, but still, that looks awesome to me. I love the look of that. And looking at it here, you know, you've got the little fire escape alleyway there too from the Bugle. I don't know, personally, I love the back alley because they get to sneak in all these cardboard boxes and different references and the yellow trash bin. But this looks great. Look at this. If only DC had this for an iconic alleyway for Gotham. One more thing that you could do, and it'll make it look even smaller, is you are able to actually remove the center part of the mansion and slide them together. Now, obviously, scale-wise, this looks even smaller next to everything here, but that is something you could do if you want to display that and then just keep building up if you get more and more mansions to make this look like a bigger school if you want. But yeah, I definitely had to show this. All right, so in case you missed it, with the Bugle, they made a mistake with this little electrical box. Unfortunately, it's positioned one stud too far back. It needs to be one closer. And what they did with the Sanctum was they actually introduced this 1x4 brick, which is really cool because then what that allows you to do is it will line up perfectly in the center of that. So if you ever want to connect it here, I'm just going to reach in because sometimes modulars are a little finicky, but you can actually slide it together and it'll fit in there perfectly. So that's really cool that they are now forever going forward with Marvel Modulars. They are continuously fixing that first Modulars mistake. But it's an easy fix. All you gotta do is, you know, get a gray tile here and then move it around. But anyways, we always have to show this. All right, and the final thing that we have to look at is the mansion with this year's modulars. So here is the mansion next to the 2024 modular. This is the Natural History Museum, and it's really cool. I know it released in December 2023, but it's still on the box, said 2024. Anyways, it looks great. I definitely just think that this fits in really well with Marvel. Like, you could have a bunch of villains breaking in and stealing stuff. But same with DC, I guess, if we ever get modulars for that. But also, size-wise, this is the cheaper set on the right. So it's just crazy to see these next to each other. And it just, like, size, it just pales in comparison. Even, like, looking at it from above here, the amount of space that this modular takes up and uses versus this, it's night and day. It's kind of crazy. And I agree with people saying, like, when they're like, oh, it's so small for a mansion. Yeah, it should be massive. It really needs to be. So I don't know, a little disappointed seeing it side by side. But what's this other thing over here, you might be wondering? This is the Brick Cross station from Bricklink. But it does actually have the modular connection points on the side so that you can connect it to other modulars, which is great. But I don't know, I think this just looks great. You've got a newsstand here as well as an apartment up above. You can remove the whole top part here to gain access to the inside here. You could have some fights on the lobby. Which, of course, we've seen from, like, I don't know, Grand Central Station, different things. The whole top part over here for this restaurant is removable here. So, I don't know. I personally really love this. I think it just fits in really well, storytelling-wise.
with this, and I'm gonna just add some things here
to make it more Marvel New York-y with the taxis, but then specifically, because this is a train station again, you could pretend that this is Grand Central, you could put Avengers Tower behind, but I've also put out here Leviathan with Thor to crash into this. I've attached here the chariot with Loki as they're flying through, and I've attached it to the mansion there so that it can actually connect and fly above the sort of Grand Central. And then here we've got Sandman crashing out of the top part here, and the Hulk is tearing apart a Sandman goon. You've got Iron Man there flying above, and Spider-Man Noir, which is, I believe, has something to do with the upcoming Amazon show. But this was just the minute that I built this, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can recreate this from Lego Marvel Superheroes here. Oh yeah, also, you could put the Battle of New York memorial here with the train station. And look who's robbing the museum up here at the top. You can also very easily remove one of the banners here. And then borrowing this from the Sanctum, you could just hang up that little advertisement there so that it looks like there's a Captain America exhibit being on display here in the museum. Anyways, everyone, that is combining the brand new X-Men X-Mansion with a bunch of different modulars. I love that we have this. It's a little small, yes, especially when comparing it to a bunch of other sets here. But again, the fact that this is a yearly tradition, I am beyond grateful for. So I cannot wait to hopefully see what we get next year and do this same video. So be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future Lego Marvel Superheroes set news and reviews. If you do want to check out any of the other videos that we have done for the mansion, you can find them linked at the end here in a playlist. And we are going to be expanding it. I've got some really cool ideas for this, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.